I have two younger sisters, and the youngest of them has Down syndrome. And it was very interesting growing up with a sister with Down syndrome. Um, all three of us were very, very close. And I had three older brothers, but there was a big age gap between us. And so it was like two different families. My brothers had a completely different culture than my sisters and I. And my brothers never really knew my sister with Down syndrome because they had all gotten older and moved out by the time she was really able to interact with anyone. We were very, very close. We hung out together. We did everything together. My sisters were my best friends as a kid. When my Down's sister was a baby, my mom thought that she wasn't going to make it because she had some heart trouble when she was really young, and my mom had actually planned the funeral. I remember that. And my sister pulled through, and she was okay. I don't know whether or not surgery was done. I was too young, I think, to be in on that kind of information. All I know is that my mom had planned the funeral, and obviously my sister lived. When my sister was very, very young, she wore glasses only when she was a baby and never after that. And so it seemed like that was a corrective thing, and she had to have a strap to have them on all the time. I remember that when she was a baby, she was really, really cute. She was incredibly adorable, like really crazy adorable and funny. She was very, very tiny, very skinny, but very funny and cute, and we just loved her. I remember that she had a lot of things that she did. Like, for example, she would play with the little Fisher-Price people. She had a couple of, Fisher-Price houses, and so she was always making them talk to each other, which was actually pretty funny. She would be really funny with them. I know that one of the things that is often a factor when someone has Down syndrome is that their tongue tends to stick out. And my mom knew that, and she said that is not going to happen. And so somehow she taught my sister not to do that, so that my sister did not stick her tongue out. Her tongue was in, and she spoke and interacted like a normal person. I know that there's a whole spectrum of people with Down syndrome, and my sister was kind of at the high end, not the very high end, but she could read and write. She held down a job. She graduated from school. Yeah, she was pretty together. And like I say, we often did things together. She had a great sense of humor. I say had, she's still alive. She has a great sense of humor. She was very funny. Even as a baby, she was just really funny. And the three of us would be really silly together and often goof around. I remember we would often, have little jokes and gags that only the three of us knew. What else can I tell you about her? I know that when it was bedtime, especially once we all got past a certain age, she still wanted someone to read bedtime stories to her, and that sort of became my thing, that I would read to her before bed. And that was nice. It was kind of like a nice little family tradition that we had. I know that we would go, in the summer, we would go to these concerts in the park. There were like a live band concert, and she would go down in front of the crowd, and she had a baton, and she would do this baton twirling in front of the band. And she was very popular. Everybody loved her. They just thought she was adorable. What else can I tell you about her? When my parents passed away, it was supposed to be my duty, my job, whatever you want to call it, to be the one to take care of her. But because I lived across the country, when my parents passed away, my older brothers got there first, and not really knowing what my mom's wishes were and not really knowing my sister, they just put her in an institution, and it was done in such a way that I couldn't undo it. And I remember feeling frustrated, both like I had failed my mom and my sister. But it was something that my brothers did. Just they wanted to, whatever, take care of what they saw as a problem, solve a problem. I don't know what they were thinking. However, I did manage to get a sort of custody, so that any decisions that they make, she's now in a group home, and any decisions they make, they have to come through me. So I'm still her taking care of her. I guess that's all I can think of. I know that when she got past a certain age, she started having seizures, and I know that that's a thing. That's a Down syndrome thing. And so I want to mention that she did start having seizures. She didn't do that when she was young. That was only when she got older. Yeah, I think that's everything. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks. Bye.